Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Comics Artists Pros Secrets. Comic Artist Pros Secrets. My name's Ethan Van Sciver, 27-year veteran of this woke and broke joke of a comic book industry. World's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. Great big Star Wars fan. Trusted member of the media. Welcome, everybody. Doing a little bit of an afternoon stream because I just was like, just talking to Zach, and Zach was like, red alert, and he alerted me to this, and I'm like, holy cow, yeah, we got to talk about this. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Hello, everyone. Let me see who's in the chat, and we'll talk to you guys really quick. You know, this is going to be kind of low-key. I'm not even going to turn my camera on. I'm wearing my Charlie XCX t-shirt and a baseball cap. No reason to look in my face while we talk about this. Sousa Bird says, Mark, just some guy is a white supremacist WAID. Yeah, Mark WAID is called just some guy who I believe is black and bisexual. White supremacist. The very same. Mark, I'm off to France. WAID, says Kraken of the Sea. Fix this now. Fix this now. Fix this now. People are all saying to me. I can. I mean, I'm doing my very, very best. I talked to Zach about what we're going to talk about, this afternoon, and welcome everyone. We got 300 people here. More people are going to come in. It's a Saturday. I know this is not somewhat of a gay flex. I know this is not a normal hour to do this kind of a stream, but it's important. Sean Tillman says, "What's up, B? Let's get this gangsta-ish." We will. Yeah. So, what's going on? I feel like going, oh, okay. All right. Now, just when you thought this was almost over, and I kind of did, I was watching I think we were all feeling it. 2020, really saw the comic book industry just sort of cave in on itself. My initial thoughts, about all of this, were that probably, the SJWs, who were responsible for really lowering the standards and sales of the comic books that the mainstream were selling would probably find themselves unemployed. And only the best of the best. And by the best of the best, I mean, we're going to see Jeff Johns. We're going to see Grant Morrison. We might see a little Alan Moore, possibly. He might poke his head out of his rabbit hole. We're going to see the best artists. Jay Fabic. We're going to be seeing Ivan Rice over at DC. Marvel's whole slew of, really talented artists, only the best of the best. But of course, page rates are going to be slashed. Exclusive contracts are going to be cut. And all of that stuff is true. But, and all that stuff has, I think, is still going to come to pass. I think, except for the talented part. This is what's doing my head in right now. I'm still trying to process all of this. I'm like, wait a second. Of course. Great talent isn't going to work for less money. What was I thinking? So if you're going to slash the page rates, if AT&T is going to look at what they're paying, people who are currently drawing and writing comics for DC Comics, their publishing arm, and they're saying we're paying those people too much, and they cut their page rates significantly, the way the Bleeding Cool predicted that they would, and that only makes sense. I mean, it makes sense that they would do that. How many great, talented people would stick around? The answer is none. None of them would. Absolutely none of them would. They're going to go and they're going to do their own thing. They're going to find work in television and video games, places where they are still, able to make a decent living. The wokesters are going to find their way right back into comics again. Now, last night, I pointed out that we've got a new guy who came in and took over for Dan DiDio. His name is Daniel Cherry. And he's on Twitter. You can find him on Twitter. Here's his, look at this, Daniel Cherry III, experience over theory. Now, a new thing that SJWs do is they have these kind of inexplicable slogans. This doesn't make any sense. Just like Ray Fisher's accountability is more like accountability is greater than entertainment slogan. A is better than A. It makes no sense. The two things are not mutually exclusive. No, your job is to actually be entertaining. Nobody's job is to be accountable to you except in terms of your paycheck. Experience over theory doesn't really mean anything. I'd like to have that explained to me. So Daniel Cherry shows up. Look at this. He's such a newbie. He joined December of 2010. He's been on Twitter. He has 1,160 followers, followed by Jim Lee. I'm sure it'll get more. I'm sure that like more people will come follow him now. But like he doesn't really have. He's not really a name. Now look at this. Father, husband, that's good. Creative optimist, that doesn't make any sense. Strategic realist, okay. Social activist. This is the big thing right here. Social activist. So we're going to realize here that Daniel Cherry coming in means that the doors are open. The clown car, he's driving the clown car. All the clowns are coming out. They're going to spill out of the car and back into DC, because these are people who are also social activists who are willing to work very, very cheap. So right away, we are going to realize, I think it's going to become pretty clear that Comicsgate has its work cut out for it next year. We still have to. Comics are going to be so woke. They're going to be so fucking awful, and we're going to have to point them out. We are going to have to talk about, what's going on with the mainstream. We're going to have to. I thought it was going to my feeling was that after 2020, DC Comics would publish much fewer comics, and we would slowly slide into, obsolescence. You would have some very good comics being published, but maybe 12 or 15. I'm not so sure anymore. I don't know what the plan is. This is kind of crazy. So we're going to go through a few things here. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Narwhal says morning stream. Woo! All right. Well, it's morning where you are. I mean, here it's almost 1 p.m. Steve Turney says maybe he's a free trade, personal responsibility social activist. We live in hope. I don't think so. I think he is a full-on SJW. And I think this is great news for people like Gail Simone, for people like Kelly Sue DeConnick. It's great news for people who were previously, it's great news for worthless people like Mags Visaggio. He's going to get work again at DC when, the doors were pretty much closed. Mags had produced failure after failure, little things. Mags is going to get working again. Other big mouth SJWs on the internet, including Ron Mars, are coming back. And get ready. These books are fully converged now. They are going. If you are not an SJW, prepare to be thoroughly uncomfortable as these comic books actually literally scream at you from their pages. Yeah, we're going to get into all of this. There's an awful lot. I'm kind of like overwhelmed with news right now. Had to start this stream up. Okay, so where are we? What are we doing here? Here's the first thing. Mark Waid returns to DC in December. Now, this is I guess we can do this one story at a time here. That'll make this kind of go easier. Mark Waid returns to DC in December. Now, I want you to understand that this is an enormous deal. Even though this story here just kind of says that Mark is doing one little thing. There's only one little thing that Mark's working on right now. He returns for Dark Knight's Death Metal. DC Comics right now, has this one kind of recurring sort of successful franchise that Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo created together. It's the metal books. They've taken the Batman characters, they've made them sort of heavy metal mascots, demons. And those books are selling great. They're just a continual mockery of their classic characters. People like them just because they're scary and cool. And everyone likes Scott Snyder's writing and everyone likes Greg Capullo's artwork. So they just keep pumping out this metal. I mean, I worked on it. It was one of the last things I worked on at DC. I got to do the Green Lantern Batman mashup, whatever that was. I can't even remember what it was called now, but I got to do one of these things and work on this franchise right before I left DC. And, at the time when when the death metal stuff was happening, it just seemed like it was a mini series. It just seemed like something that was going to come and go. But here we are, three years later, and it is still, they're still pumping out material about these characters. All right, so why is this a big deal? Let's read this article first, and then I'll inform you. hidden in the credits among DC's just released December 2020 solicitations is a bit of news marking the return of a long-absent creator to the DC universe, with writer Mark Waid contributing a story to DC's Dark Knight's Death Metal, the last stories of the DC Universe anthology one-shot. Now, honestly, you couldn't get more obscure than this. Like, this is, you're contributing one story to this anthology that doesn't seem to be controlled by Scott Snyder. Maybe it is. How much Greg Capullo art is in there, we don't really know. You're contributing one story to an anthology, which is typical for SJWs, one shot. These are just one shots here that we're going to be talking about. But this bodes, this suggests that something that a dam has broken. There has been a wall up, between Mark Waid and DC Comics that was put there by people who no longer work for DC Comics. So Dan DiDio, I know, could not stand Mark Waid. Did not like Mark Waid. And I never really got the answer why. I would say, what's the problem? This was before I understood that Mark Waid was a lunatic. I used to talk to Mark Waid, back in 2007, 2010. And I didn't understand why DC Comics had such a problem with Mark Waid, but they really did. When DC Comics turns against you, they turn against you. I've heard them say, with regards to another creator, sounds like a guy who doesn't want to work for DC Comics ever again. And sure enough, like, that person would be blacklisted. I know, I'm fully aware that when I talk about DC Comics the way I'm talking about DC Comics now, that they would say the same thing about me. Sounds like Ethan never wants to work for DC Comics again. And that's true. I don't think they can afford me anymore. But DC Comics does blacklist people, and they blacklisted Mark Waid for many, many, many years. I mean, I would say 15 years at least. Mark Waid was not coming over to DC. The obvious thing to do with Mark Waid would be to put him on Superman, but they're limiting his work. They're not letting him do stuff. And at some point, they just kind of pushed him out. I think the last thing he did was The Flash with Wally West, and that was a bomb. Like, that didn't work out. It's like they threw him a bone and it didn't work. And then Jeff Johns and I came in and did Flash Rebirth, and we fixed everything that he fucked up. All right, so this is a big deal. And of course, this follows directly on the heels of Dan DiDio losing his job. Dan DiDio's fired. Bob Harris is fired. Mark Chiarello is fired. All of the old guard is gone. And the old guard is gone. And a couple of things are happening here. You're going to see people like new voices, new faces from YA and politics come in and start writing for DC Comics. But evidently, and this is a big wow for me. I mean, that's why I'm doing this stream. Wow. They are fully aware of who the SJW monsters are on Twitter and on social media. And they are taking these people who had, it seemed, had burned their careers to the ground. And this gentleman here, Daniel Cherry III, whoever he is, this social activist, he's bringing these people right back, and he's putting them right back where they were at DC Comics. And we're going to see the results of that in a minute. It's going to be pretty interesting. Waid last worked for DC in 2008, prior to the onset of the New 52 in 2011. I guess that's right. 2008, he was doing the Flash book. Following his departure from DC, Waid worked in a staff role at several publishers, from a stint at Boom's editor-in-chief and now currently publisher of Humanoids. So he's over, like, he's in indie comics. It almost seemed like, even if he didn't come back to DC, it's almost like he didn't want to come back to DC. But since his departure from DC in 2008, Waid has worked extensively at Marvel, even signing an exclusive deal with the publisher for a time. He's currently writing Fantastic Four Antithesis, which is drawn by Neil Adams. Though it's unclear if Waid's return at DC is a one-off or the start of a rekindled, longer-term working relationship with the publisher, it's worth noting that in 2021, it marks the 25th anniversary of the start of Kingdom Come, which, of course, is the only thing that Mark Waid wrote that or is attached to that is considered to be a classic story. A lot of people say that Alex Ross is mostly responsible for Kingdom Come, and I would agree. I would say without Alex Ross, Kingdom Come and it would be okay. It would be well thought of. But Alex Ross's artwork, which was incredible, Alex Ross at his peak, boosted Kingdom Come to legendary status. They're calling that Wade's seminal. That doesn't mean he ejaculated on it. That means that's his best remembered work at DC Comics with artist Alex Ross, which depicted a bleak but ultimately hopeful future for the heroes of the DC universe, and which has consistently been considered among DC's best stories ever. Kingdom Come has been reprised and referenced in the DC universe several times, including a 2010 story in Jeff Johns' JSA, marking the story's 15th anniversary alongside Alex Ross. Given Ross has been celebrating the 25th anniversary of his story Marvels with writer Kurt Busiek, a similar landmark tale of Marvel Comics for the last year, could he and Wade do something similar for DC Kingdom Come, at DC for Kingdom Come? Interesting. Kurt Busiek is another one. God, everyone in comics is so goddamn woke. It's so frustrating. It was never like this before. I know that they try to tell you, they try to gaslight you and say comics have always been like this. But I'm reading comics. I went back and I'm reading the comics that I grew up with from 1987 to 1992. No, they weren't. They weren't. Now, comics are aggressively far left wing. They are, they're written by social activists. For people who aren't buying comics. These people are making comics for an audience that doesn't buy comics. It's almost like the more broke they get, the more woke they get, which means the more broke they get, and it's a downward spiral. These people are just standing they're standing in the rubble of the comic book industry and dousing themselves with more gasoline and lighting a match. Absolutely incredible. All right, I'll show you. God, we've got so much to cover. I'm very excited. Okay, Wade was also part of several group Superman pitches. This is what Mark Waid wants to do. This is the thing. You want to, you're looking for the key to Mark's heart. It's this and Captain Marvel. These are the two things that he wants. He wants the Marvel family, including a late 90s pitch alongside Grant Morrison, who is still well thought of and loved by DC Comics. Mark Miller, who isn't, and that's a frustrating thing. Mark Miller is, I think he just kind of fucked around too much. Mark Miller is a prankster. He's a merry prankster, and he pushes the limit. And I think that I don't know, but Mark Miller, DC Comics blacklisting Mark Miller, and I do believe that they did, was one of the biggest mistakes that they ever made. Obviously, Mark Miller is now worth $50 million with a gigantic Netflix deal. The creator of Kick-Ass and so many other things. This guy is a legend. Also, I like his politics. He's just a great guy. All right, and Tom Pyre, who kind of disappeared. I like Tom Pyre too. Eventually resulting in Superman Birthright, Wade's retelling of Superman's origin alongside the incredible artist Lionel F. His middle initial is F. So he signs his name FU, which is, God, that's cool. I'm really envious of that. I wish my name was FU. It isn't. It's just EVS. With longtime writer Brian Michael Bendis departing from Action Comics. Okay, so they finally got rid of so many politics going on, so many moving pieces. Diane Nelson went out of her way to spend way too much of Warner Brothers' money hiring Brian Michael Bendis away from Marvel, giving him an exclusive contract, having him come over and work on the Superman books. He came over and he worked on the Superman books, and they sucked. Brian Michael Bendis has done nothing substantial at DC Comics. Diane is the only one, from what I hear, the only one who really wanted Bendis to come over to DC. Diane Nelson was fired after the disaster of the Justice League movie, the reverberations of which we're still feeling today with the Ray Fisher, Jeff Johns problem. And now that Diane's gone, and now that everyone is gone, like everyone who was around. And I know that it's like most of the other people kind of resented Bendis coming over and bringing his big Marvel, bullshit over to DC and getting everything kind of wrong. But now there's just no reason for Bendis to stay. Bleeding Cool did report that, AT&T is sitting down and looking at all exclusive contracts. Bendis, of course, had one of the biggest exclusive contracts. Is it that Bendis's exclusive contract has been ended? I don't know. I'm shrugging. You can't see me, but I'm shrugging right now. I don't know. I think that's probable. So they're getting Bendis away from the Superman books. And they're saying here, look, there could be room for Mark Waid to take a crack at the Man of Steel's adventures once and for all. Take a crack at smoking crack. They'd have to be smoking crack to let Mark Waid come and do this. Now, I was alerted to Mags Visaggio. Now, Mags, of course, has me blocked now, which is interesting. I don't know why these people block me. I know they all think that I spend my time on Twitter looking at what they're saying. I got to tell you, I really don't. I look at my own timeline. If you mention the word Cyberfrog, I'm going to find it because I do search the word Cyberfrog. I don't search my name anymore, but I do search for Cyberfrog. And other than that, I'm not going to find it if it's not on my timeline. So a lot of people block me when I guess I'm not sure why. But this is interesting. So Mags is already very excited about this. This is the revenge of the SJWs against Comicsgate. Mags has changed Mags's name to something. Hold on, let me see if I can open this up in a new tab and blow it up so that you can see it. Here we go. Mags has changed Mags' name to Now We Arise, and we are even stronger. Like, what is the, I can't see what the E. Now we are EVS. No, you're not. I'm not sure what the EV is. It could be something else. But in any case, Mags is saying this with response to the idea that Mark Waid is back. Now we're evil. People are speculating it could be. I don't know. I can't see it because this is just a picture. Mags goes, a few years ago, I was getting lunch drinks with Mark Waid in Santa Monica. How is this even real life? I know the idea of getting to have drinks with Mark Waid. Woo, what a dream come true. Some people, some young ladies, would fantasize about getting drinks with one of the boys from One Direction. But for Mags, it's all about having lunch with Mark Waid. Wow, what an amazing thing. And he told me a Superman story he has never gotten to write. And it's one of the best, smartest Superman stories I've ever heard. I hope now it can finally happen. I mean, Waid, alongside Morrison, is one of two writers who absolutely 100% defined Superman for me. Who and what he is. So maybe this should be unsurprising, but it was so fucking good. Okay, so Mags is already very excited about this. Mags is seeing this as Mark Waid's return, right? So don't know. I mean, I don't know. All right, so will this could this mean that there's room for Waid to take a crack at the Man of Steel's adventures once and for all? Could this mean that there's room for Mags to go after Mark Waid's crack once and for all? Possibly. Waid said that at WonderCon 2017, his dream project was Shazam, saying, that one is in my sights. Fix it now. Fucking fix it now. With the current Shazam title scheduled to end in September, could Waid's arrival open the door to a new series there as well? Time will possibly tell. No, time will definitely tell one way or the other. Bendis' departure from Superman and a host of new death metal one-shots aren't the only news from DC's December solicitations. Get ready. Oh, get ready, guys. They aren't the only bit of news. Here's the other bit of news. Here's some more news for you. Jonah Hex would be proud. Ginny Hex is spinning off into her own one-shot from Visaggio and Melnikov. Locus Mortis, thanks for €2. Says Mags is grooming Mark Waid. A lot of love bombing here. Mags is definitely looking for Mark Waid's shine. Mags just wants a little of Mark Waid's shine. Okay, so here's the next thing. This, of course, written by Chris Arant. We talked about Chris Arant. He is another social activist. He is Black Lives Matter. I would say he's probably even Antifa, this guy. We got so many weirdos in comics. Chris Aran, of course, far left winger, and he knows, he's fast. He's fast to tell this story here. Games Radar. Chris Aran, are you not working for Newsarama anymore? How come I keep seeing you writing stories for like Games Radar? What? I mean, I guess you could do both, but I don't know. I just thought you were exclusive to Newsarama. The great granddaughter of Jonah Hex, Ginny, gets going with a solo story, taking her back to the old West. So this is Ginny Hex. Young Justice's Ginny Hex is breaking out into her own 48-page one-shot this December with writer Magdalene Visaggio. That's Mags. And artist Gleb Melnikov, as announced in the publisher's just released December 20th solicitations. So we've got so far 2 great big SJWs coming back to DC. Dan DiDio's gone. And by the way, Rob Liefeld, who was like, this is a good first step. Dan DiDio being fired from DC is a great first step. Apparently, Dan DiDio was like a wall. Dan DiDio was kind of saying, okay, look, we're going to let a little social justice in if that's what the masters want, but like a little bit. We're not going to let these clowns in, and these people are clowns. Now that Dan is gone, you're going to see this and a whole lot more, I guess. This is going to be, this is the future of DC, while it still has a future. Ginny Hex Special number 1 will take the recently debuted DC character back in time to the old American Old West, the stomping grounds of her great-great-grandfather and namesake Jonah Hex. Ginny Hex stars in her first solo adventure, and she's ready and raring to go. Bursting out of the pages of Young Justice, this fan-favorite gal, I've never heard of her, is heading back home to take care of some unfinished business, reads DC solicitation for the one-shot. All right, so this is hoping to take some time off from the multiverse conflict. Ginny reconnects with some old friends and family, but that all goes out the window when a new foe called Three-Eyed Jack transports her town back to the Old West. Now it's up to Ginny to face off with this superpowered gunslinger and save her town. But Ginny's about to learn that some threats are closer to her heart than expected. Ginny Hex's co-creator Nick Darrington is drawing both the primary cover and the variant. This will be a treat for Young Justice fans. It comes 1 month after that series' planned finale. So Young Justice, which I believe was a Bendis book, they're clearing Bendis right out, aren't they? So November, Bendis's Young Justice series ends, and in come the SJWs. Bendis, bye-bye. In comes Mark Waid. In comes Mags Visaggio. This one-shot comes 2 years after her surprise debut in December 2018, Batman Giant number 4 by Darrington and writer Bendis. She went on to be roped into Bendis's Young Justice title, appearing in that series for the past year. Ginny Hex Special goes on sale right after Christmas, guys. So 4 days after Christmas, 2 days before New Year's. I guess what? Go to your local comic shop and get your Magdalene Visaggio comic book. It's interesting. Chris Arant here, and this story seems to be connected to this story. They give it, what do these two stories have to do with each other? Nothing. They don't have anything to do with each other, except that they're both SJWs. This is the return of Mark Waid, and it is the return of Mags Visaggio to DC Comics. And that's what this is. These two, that connection there is just SJWs sneering at you. At Comicsgate, they're sneering at the customers who are like, look, isn't Mark Waid the one who said, fuck off, you racist bigots to us? Isn't Mark Waid one of the ones who did everything he could to prevent us from getting the comics that we want? Like, he actually stood in the way of Richard C. Meyer's deal, so that Richard couldn't publish his comic book. Like, this guy's got balls of steel to do stuff like that. And, really, he was better off not in the mainstream because he's a man who has temper tantrums. He's an adult who has temper tantrums, can't control himself. He's just a guy who wants to interfere with people's lives. He's not. He was better off not. Well, he's back, and guess who else is back? Mags Visaggio. So that is, those two articles being connected by two separate writers are a way of just kind of going, yeah. Yeah, I guess. All right. So there's more. Let me see what you guys are saying here. We'll kind of hook up and catch up with each other. Let's see. Mark Wade. Let's see here. A little too many uhs from Uncle E. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll try to. I'm talking as fast as I can because I don't mean to keep you guys very long. Sometimes my live streams go like 4 hours, and I didn't want to do that. Not this time. Let me see here. Do Mags? Hold on. Thank you. Next, Gail Simone. Gail Simone, I'm sure has something already planned. It's gonna be pretty interesting to see where that goes. Let me see here. I like Mark Wade's Irredeemable a lot, says Jasper Plan 9. Well, Irredeemable is his version of Superman, isn't it? So who knows? All right. So moving on here. The next person who is coming back is Ron Marz. Ron Marz is teaming up with Andy Lanning to do something called DC's Endless Winter. Now, Ron Marz just recently did a live stream where he just out of the blue, like it was really weird. He called Cecil a shithead or something like that. It was very strange. Ron has not worked at DC for many, many, many years. And I'm not really quite sure why, because Ron worked at DC quite a bit in the 1990s. Yeah, like he and his collaborator, Daryl Banks on Green Lantern. Daryl can't get work either. I would say if it's possible for some of these old guys who stop getting work to get work again, it'd be great if Daryl Banks did. Daryl Banks is such a wasted supernova of talent. It'd be really cool if he was there. Okay, it's going to be a cold winter for DC's heroes. This December, the DC Universe plunge into a frigid, deadly blizzard as an ancient enemy resurfaces in the upcoming comic book crossover event, Justice League Endless Winter, written by Ron Marz. We got an exclusive interview with Ron Marz where, I don't know, it's like, how did you get to be a part of this? I blame Andy. Andy Lanning, who did he used to work with? Lanning and, who's Andy Lanning's partner, guys? Why can't I remember this? He would team up with another writer. I'm looking at the chat. Somebody knows. Yeah, I don't know. Lanning and Dan Abnett. Thank you. It took a little while. There's a little delay. Yeah, I guess Ron Marz is going to be doing Dan Abnett's job here, which is interesting. So this is a little bit more of a project. This is going to be, I don't know. This is a mini series. Does Endless Winter take place in the post-death metal world? God, it's so bleak. This is might come as a shock, but sometimes we just make stuff up and go. So death metal is going on, but this story is taking place in the here and now of the DC universe. I like to think of it as a Christmas special. I'm under the impression that this is going to be kind of an ongoing series. And this will last a little bit longer, but I could be wrong about this. This could be another one shot. But it's interesting to see, like, all of these guys are coming out together in December. They've all been rehired together. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think this was actually purposeful. I get that feeling. This is nice artwork, though. Wow, that's really good. Who drew that? Janin. Oh, Michael Janin. That's why. Yeah, I like Michael's stuff a lot. Yeah, it's a really nice angle. Damn. That makes me want to just take a page of Bristol board and just turn it on its side and just draw Cyberfrog fighting the swarm like this. It's dizzying. It just feels like, yeah, it's really, really, really nice. Michael Janin, good for you. Always doing great work. So that's the thing. Now, on top of all of this, this is all not a big deal. These guys getting hired is cool. What's kind of off-putting is this right here. And this story came out yesterday. Zach already read this book. This is the book that was given to Christian Cooper called All right, this week saw DC Comics publish a free digital comic book written by Christian Cooper called It's a Bird. a fictionalized version of the event that this former Marvel editor and Star Trek writer went through in Central Park that made international headlines that preceded the Black Lives Matter protests that followed the killing of George Floyd. So I saw footage of this. It was really weird. I guess this is him. This is Christian Cooper. He's like, ma'am, dogs in this area have to be leashed at all times. Are you a park ranger? No, then I don't have to listen to you. It's to protect the wildlife. Signs are posted everywhere. Rex needs his exercise. Mind your own business. All right. So the caption for this is DC Comics runs Black Lives Matter messaging. Will it go further? Now, this is the interesting thing about this. This is a Rich Johnson article. This caption runs along every single illustration. So here's basically what it is. The story is this guy here, who is a self-insert of Christian Cooper, who went through this very strange thing. I saw the footage of it, and it made me very uncomfortable. Not for the reasons I think it made other people uncomfortable. It just seemed very weird that this guy was sitting there holding his phone up and harassing a woman and her dog in the park, just holding her phone up while the woman was panicking and saying, I want to call the police. I'll call the police. And look, it's like, oh, yeah, this is terrible. Well, you're bothering her and you're holding. Where is your phone in this illustration? Why aren't we seeing you holding up your phone at her and videoing her and invading her privacy and bothering her while she was just walking her dog? You're looking down and looking sad like she's the aggressor here. You're sitting there filming. So if I had somebody I didn't know telling me what to do while filming me in a public park and saying, sir, you're not supposed to litter, or sir, your dog needs to be on a leash while filming me, I think I might get a little bit, I don't know, I think I might be bothered. And when I told them to stop, if they didn't stop, and I said, I'm going to call the police, and you just stood there and continued to film me, I think I'd be a little bit irritated. And this person's a woman, and you're a man, and it's all very odd. It's very odd. I look at this. It's just like you're just standing there with your eyes down, like, oh, this is what I have to go through. You asked for this. You were harassing a woman in the park, and you're aiming your phone at her, your camera phone, and telling her what to do with her dog. She was panicking. And not only that, the woman took her mask off, and there's something, I could tell she's a little on the spectrum. Panicky. Congratulations. So you got a comic book out of it. Here are the ghosts of all the black people who have ever died at the hands of police, and all of them together. They're just shocked at this, shocked that this could happen. And you can see them with your very special pair of binoculars. So this comic book is probably one of the most cringe things DC's published in a long time, but they're going further. Now you're looking, look at them. More than that, the comic book Represent also runs case histories of a number of those people. So you're going to get these big ads, DC, Represent, and then, look at this. You've got this person. Let me zoom out. This person. And again, same caption. DC Comics runs Black Lives Matter messaging. Will it go further? Breonna Taylor. Here's another one. DC runs Black Lives Matter messaging. Will it go further? To George Floyd. DC runs Black Lives Matter messaging. Will it go further? And more and more and more. And here we go. Here's even more. So you're going to get pages and pages of this. DC Comics runs Black Lives Matter messaging. Will it go even further? The question that some have asked is that while this is welcomed, will DC Comics continue this kind of messaging in other publications, aside from those that can be seen as, quote, a very special episode of one-shots like Represent? Understand, Rich Johnson here is absolutely no different than this guy, a social activist. He's a political and social activist. The comic books are not important to him. The stories are not important. We're not looking to tell fun superhero stories. Rich Johnson's number one concern is that now that SJWs have completely taken over the mainstream comic book company, are they going to go further? Are they going to constantly be virtue signaling like this to you, the reader, in the middle of your stories? Are they going to go further than this? This is a good start, but will they go further in all their books, not just special books like this? So this weekend's DC Fandom event will include a number of related programming, but nothing that allows any interaction with the fans. Will it all be PR? DC Comics encourages readers to share this story with friends and family, talk about how people can inspire change in their communities. I don't know, set them on fire. Try that. Try rioting. That might work. They also state that many organizations, including Color of Change, Equal Justice Initiative, the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund, National Center for Civil and Human Rights, National Urban League, and the Bail Project, where you get to bail people who are in jail out of jail, are also working to advance social justice and civil rights in support of Black Lives Matter. Represent's first issue is free and available now. It's a Bird by Christian Cooper, blah, blah, blah. So if you want to read that you can. But I think the whole thing about this is that, again, it's pretty clear at this point that whatever's left of the mainstream comic book industry has been thoroughly taken over by radicals. And now that they've done this, now that they're using comics to occasionally virtue signal, one has to wonder, like, where does it end? Is it ever going to end? Can you ever satisfy social justice warriors? Can you virtue signal enough for them? I guess not. Rich Johnson's like, will it go further? Are you going to do this kind of stuff more often in other comics where it's unexpected, where people aren't looking for it? Are you going to use the comic books that DC Comics is allowed to publish at the behest of AT&T to constantly hector, lecture, berate normal people with all of this social justice, identity politics propaganda? And the answer, I would say, is yes. You're seeing them move towards that now. You're seeing them go back and pull out all the stops and hire all of the people who do not put earning a living and making comics that people enjoy ahead of this. Messaging is what is important. And AT&T, I think it's clear now, wanted DC Publishing to go in this direction. I don't think that they view the comic books as a means to make money at all. And since they're not making money, they might as well do something else. They might as well virtue signal on behalf of the corporation for radical left-wing causes. So I don't know. Comicsgate is going to be busy next year because we're going to see more and more absolute cringe, total and complete cringy comics. And I just told Zach, I was like, "Are you up for this? Like, do you have the energy for this?" I thought we were almost done. We are not. We are not almost done. We are just beginning. There's going to be another round of this because Zach used to say to SJWs, he'd say, "How small do you want to make comics?" And he'd say that, like, do you understand, like, you're shrinking the comic book industry, and by shrinking it, there's not going to be a lot of money left. I mean, people aren't going to be able to make a living. Zach didn't realize they want to make it very small. They want to make it very small so that its only use, evidently, its only use was to do exactly this, to virtue signal full-time at people and hector and lecture them. And that's what's happened to the comic book industry. It's completely turned into this now. The only thing that we can do is just continue to do what we're doing. The indie comic scene is going to rise up like punk rock and just be the friendly alternative to people who are just sick of being lectured by mentally ill far left-wing skulls. And I think that's almost everyone. I don't know anybody who really wants to buy this. I think there are SJWs who want it to happen. They want comics to become SJW because that'll make them feel good. But do they want to buy it? Is anybody paying for this? Who's buying these comics? Who's looking for comics to actually read that behave like this? I don't think anybody. And I think that kind of positions Comicsgate to, I don't know. I think we're in a good spot in a way. I kind of think we're going to get rich next year. I kind of think if we keep politics out of comics and just aim to entertain our audiences and provide an alternative to this, I feel like we're going to make an awful lot of money. An awful lot of money. Okay, I keep cutting out. I'm sorry about that. I was looking up at the ceiling. It might just be that wow, I've got a lot of super chats. Let me read all this stuff here. And thank you guys for sending them. I appreciate it. Very nice of you. Okay, what a glorious night to praise the sun, says Angry Baneling. Thank you so much. Narwhal Books, thank you for $5. Steve Turney, thanks for £5. I read that one. Charlie's London, thank you for £5. Everyone says Yan looks like Mark Miller. He does. You're right about that. Yan's answer is he wishes he had his money. LOL. I think, Mark Miller, I want Mark Miller's freedom. Like, Mark Miller and I had a nice chat a few months ago in private. And, he just said, we talked about what it is that we actually value in comics. And that's the freedom to be ourselves and say what we want to say. And I mean, I don't have Mark Miller's utter FU money, because Mark Miller can do whatever he wants to do and say whatever he wants to say. But I don't have any ties. I can say what I want to say, and I can be honest. I can tell you what I actually think. And Comicsgate has given me and you that freedom, and thank God for that. Locust Mortis says Mags is grooming Mark Waid. That's gross. Darth Bobcat says, why doesn't Ginny have scars? Most knockoffs at least resemble the original. So yeah, you're talking about the fact that Mags is doing this book about a character based on Jonah Hex. She's Ginny Hex. Jonah Hex's whole thing is that half of his face is scarred, and Ginny should have scars. Maybe Ginny has a scarred foot or something so that she can still be cute in the face. I really don't understand. But I mean, then again, would that, it's like the bad luck of having a scarred face, would that pass on to, 3 generations down the line? I don't know. Bird Gang says, Games Radar bought Newsarama, Uncle E. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that explains it. So Games Radar owns Newsarama now, and that's why when you're looking at Games Radar, you're going to see their journalists. Thanks for that info, Bird Gang. Inch High Comic Guy says, what the fuckity fuck is this fucking fuckery? This is like inviting Hitler to host Anne Frank's birthday party. # frog life. I don't know if it's like that, but it's pretty bad. It isn't profitable. Jasu Rodriguez says they're just creating all these one-shots and limited series to establish copyrights on every possible version of each character. Let me think about that. BDad8504 says, play Damn Right by Z-Blood. I don't know what that is. I've never heard that song. But I will look into it. Yeah, I just think that at this point, it doesn't matter anymore. It just doesn't matter. Cumberbatch Pepperpot says, howdy, how's Warts and All cover coming? It's almost finished. It's almost finished. I'm still working on the villains in the background, and I realized that Cyberfrog has more villains than I remembered. Cyberfrog has, if I want to put Grizzly, if I want to put the nuns, remember the nuns who turn into werewolves and amphibionics? I could put them in there too, but there's just not that much room so I have to draw the villains very, very small. But it is almost done, and I cannot wait until we run Warts and All. That campaign is going to be a great time. But in the meantime, we're still doing great comics. Graveyard Shift Volume 3. At this point, it's like I think Comicsgate is going to be a safe haven from all of this just shit. Graveyard Shift Volume 3, $214,711. I think. Let me. No, it jumped up a little bit more. Thanks for continuing to back this. This is where indie comics are going to go. Somebody sent me a picture. I didn't realize this, and I can't believe this is actually happening. But like mainstream comic book fans and also some professionals are really grumbling over Berserker by Keanu Reeves, and they're it is kind of depressing. Hold on a second. I'll actually show you this. You might be interested. Like they sit there, they're grumbling. Now suddenly, you don't like Keanu Reeves just because he did a Kickstarter that was super successful. How weird. Hold on, I'll show you this. This meme got sent to me, and I was like, Jesus God, what is the matter with people? Like, who doesn't like Keanu Reeves? It doesn't make any sense. All right, let me see here. Oops. Wrong. Share screen. Yeah, so this is the kind of stuff that's going on Facebook right now. Look at this asshole. Shooting people is cool. Like, suddenly they're denigrating Keanu Reeves and just, like, posting stuff like this. The pressure on you by these these people, if you do anything to kind of better yourself or to succeed, or to I don't know, improve on the standards of failure set by these guys, is absolutely unreal. I didn't know that anybody could hate Keanu Reeves, but I mean, once you use Kickstarter to fund a comic book to the tune of, and that comic book's going to make $1.5 million in a month on Kickstarter, suddenly everyone hates on you, and they forget the Matrix and John Wick and all this stuff, and they start saying lame. I don't know. It's pretty creepy. This kind of pressure is something else. You really do have to kind of separate yourself from it and think about. I don't know. I guess it's a harder road to walk to be Comicsgate. I mean, it has to be, right, but it's going to lead to success. Cecil is Comicsgate. Cash Grab, the graphic novel by Cecil. This is a big success for him. He's never done a comic book before, but he's incredibly funny. He knows friends who are great artists, and he's able to do this with Donald DeLay. $228,100. Mags VISAGGio was never going to see that kind of money in her life, and I don't think Mark Waid will anymore either. They won't. Dan Fraga sought independence, and I'm glad that he did. Dan Fraga is now, good. He just passed $188,000 with his book Black Flag Pineapple Perception. We're going back and kind of mining the 1990s, the stuff that we created when prosperity abounded. In the 1990s, there were no fears about, hey, my book's going to get canceled or the comic book industry's in trouble. There just weren't. You were able to just create what felt good and what felt cool and what you thought people would like. And for me and Dan, that stuff mostly happened when we were young. Cyberfrog was something that I created when I was 19 years old, and it was just. The characters and the concepts that you create when you are young are the ones that resonate the most with young people. They're the ones that you can build franchises from, I think. So Dan went back and he's bringing back Black Flag, and of course, I'm over here doing Cyberfrog. This is my sequel to Cyberfrog Blood Honey, which was an incredible success. Cyberfrog Blood Honey raised $1,065,000. In a bunch of different campaigns. I would just kind of do different variant covers and put them out there. And people read the book. I left it on a nice cliffhanger. People are anxious to see where it picks up. And so Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet, which is, coming out before May of 2021, is doing phenomenal business. It's just doing great. $1,081,000. From almost, we're getting close to 10,000 backers. We're getting very close to 10,000 backers. That's amazing. That's amazing. I didn't have this kind of success or luck when I was when I was working at DC. So this is great. Thank you guys for this. Graham Nolan's The Chenoo is also doing great business. Graham Nolan came over to Comicsgate. He left DC Comics. He was doing Batman books for a long time. Graham Nolan is just killing it with his horror book, The Chenoo, and he's going to be doing more stuff after this. Shane Davis has a book called Starlight Cats, and he's going to launch it September 27th. So if you wouldn't mind signing up, giving your email address, you're going to get something called a newsletter from him, which is going to tell you a little bit about the book. Hold on a second. Let me show the video for this. I love this stuff. Some people make good videos. I don't know why I can't do it. Here we go.
Growing up can be rough. It isn't always easy to make friends. Sometimes I feel alone. But then I met Barnaby and learned the truth about all cats on Earth, that they need my help. But the bullies are trying to stop our fun. Together with the Starlight Cats, I can collect all the jewels, so the Great Merlion will rise again.
Evil alien rat cats called the Verican live to devour all life forms. In this action-adventure 48-page graphic novel, Rebecca is swept up with the Starlight Cats into an intergalactic conflict. Together, they have to find the power to stop the Vericans, who are determined to conquer Earth. Only Rebecca and this elite team of cosmic-powered felines can summon the magic needed to end this universal infestation. This is Starlight Cats Book 1, Merlion Rising. Back this project today, only on Indiegogo.
Starlight Cats by Shane Davis. Shane Davis famously created what's the cat's name from the Red Lantern Corps? Fuck, my memory is going. I'm telling you, I'm getting old. I'm becoming an old man very quickly. Dexstar. Shane Davis created Dexstar for the Red Lanterns. He's famous for cats in space. So he decided to go ahead and take that and do his own thing. It looks phenomenal. I'm very excited about it. I want to play my video now that Ascension Video made for me.
My name is Heather Swain. Philadelphia has always been my home. Life was good until it happened. I'm friends with a cybernetic enhanced human-like frog created to save Earth. Nobody appreciated or understood him, but I did. We were good friends who enjoyed hanging out with a bucket from the chicken fry. Just me, Cyberfrog, and his very large brother, Salamandroid. Until the invasion hit. They rained from the sky. These space invader giant hornets attacked everyone, killing more than could stay alive, and covered the earth with giant blood honey hives. They can't fly near trees, so we hid in the woods, burning endless fires to keep them away, wearing red so they can't see and kill us all. The last time I saw Cyberfrog, he told me he'd track me down. But it's been decades, and there's been no sign of him. Yet I can't shake the feeling he is not gone. I believe he will return again. We need Cyberfrog and his brother Salamandroid to return and fight off these invaders, to take back our wrecked planet so we can live without fear. If you see my friend Cyberfrog, tell him I need him. We need him to save the world. This is Cyberfrog Wrecked Planet.
Goosebumps. I'm totally realigned. Thank you so much, Ascension, for making this trailer. This is, for a minute, you kind of forget why you're doing what you're doing. You see all this nonsense that's going on with SJWs and comics, and you're just like, why? Why do we even bother anymore? What's the point in doing this when this is what comics are becoming? You know, when comics are being used as political tracks. You know, today's superhero comics are no different than chick tracks. It's just politics, racial division, hatred, instead of religion. You know, why are we doing this? Well, I know why I do this. You know, I'm doing this because I have a story to tell about superheroism, just about heroism, about duty, about actually. Committing yourself to something and sacrificing yourself for that cause. Cyberfrog represents a lot of how I feel about myself, I guess. Cyberfrog is not a self-insert character. Cyberfrog is my friend. Cyberfrog is he's just a very meaningful kind of I don't know. He's always been in my heart ever since I created him. Back in 1993, when my family was kind of falling apart, and I was just looking to become a comic book creator. That was my version of Hoop Dreams. Instead of learning to play basketball, I was going to learn to draw comic books, and I just had this character that just emerged from me. And he was rough. I mean, the stuff that I did in the 1990s, I think it evoked a lot of what was in the culture. It was a lot of kind of Philadelphia punk rock, kind of indie scene mixed with the Biggest Image comics and all that stuff that I was taking in. But Cyberfrog has come to mean something else. I feel like even now when we look at the stories that we're looking at, we're standing up against absolute unbearably incredible odds. And do we have the strength to do this? Do we have the means? Do we have the willpower? Do we have the determination to stand up to what's happened to our culture? And we're seeing more and more of these swarms and infestations occur in Hollywood. We're seeing them happen in tabletop gaming, in video games. We're seeing them happen on television. We're seeing them happen all around us. I don't know. Are you afraid? Are you looking at what's going on in the world, in this country right now? And aren't you a little bit afraid? Doesn't it feel strange? The things that are going on outside right now, just outside your door, in our major cities, I think they're making people feel unsafe. And I don't blame people for that. I don't blame people for those feelings. It's almost like some alien invasion happened that took over our society, took our country from us, took our world from us, and ruined it, wrecked our whole planet, wrecked our entire world. And it's up to us, it's up to us to stand up to it. Does that mean we're going to succeed? I don't know. Not really. No, I'm not sure. The odds are not in our favor, but we have to try anyway. Indie Comics has to stand up. We have to stand up to this. This isn't right. When you look at Bleeding Cool, and when you see, Rich Johnson sitting there saying, well, this pamphlet, this political pamphlet is a start, but is this going to grow? Are you going to do more of this? And the answer is yes, they're going to. They're going to continue doing this. They're going to continue taking the comic books that used to be fun escapism, and they're going to make them completely worthless. Just political tracts. The comic book industry has converged, and it's sad because we're going to lose something that was really, really nice. We're going to lose something that we enjoyed, and something that a lot of us grew up on. It's going away, and it's probably not going to come back. So we do have to create something of our own, and we have to actually make our own space. We have to create our own icons. If these icons have been ruined and poisoned by people who never had their best interests at heart, then we have to create our own and never let them go, and never let people who would abuse them, people who would misuse them, get their hands on them and ruin them too. And that's a big part of what Comicsgate is. That's why I'm proud to be part of Comicsgate. We have to stand up for culture. We have to stand up for things. Not everything needs to be about politics. Some things have to be about things that are more pure than that, things that are more important, better lessons for kids. Cyberfrog is about being brave and being a good friend. Those two things. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to: being brave and being a good friend, being a good, loyal friend, and standing up for what's right. So those are lessons that need to be taught. I don't know where else you get those lessons right now. SJW comics seem to be about praising activism. They seem to be about elevating political nothings like AOC and Ruth Bader Ginsburg into godhood, mythological stature. That seems to be what comics are right now. That seems to be what the people who are making comics are interested in doing, because they don't seem to have any financial interest in this. They don't seem to have any interest in perpetuating the medium. There's no real reason for them to continue to do comics except to just exploit them and exploit their audiences and I think torture their audiences with this stuff. So every day I wake up and I get to come downstairs here to my office and I get to work on Cyberfrog and tell a little bit more of this story. And I'm so happy about it. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for these circumstances, as awful as they are, as sad as it is that the comic book industry has collapsed and it is getting more and more perverse and perverted and weird. It's becoming more and more about things that are just not satisfying people on that kind of level that they were looking to be satisfied before with their comic books. It's becoming about something else. So I'm grateful that Comicsgate exists. I'm grateful to be a part of it. I'm glad to have you guys in my audience. I'm thankful to get to do Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet. And then after that, we're going to do Rainbow Brute, which is going to be a lot of fun. Rainbow Brute is going to be a big FU to this, to everything that I talk about. All this stuff that I talk about on my channel, Rainbow Brute is going to be that solidified, that single idea presented in an entertaining way. That it's just like, hey, this is what would happen if what women were doing to what would happen if what women are doing to male pop culture icons. What would happen if men did that to female pop culture icons? What if we masculinized all of the stuff that girls grew up with? And I put it to you that it would be better. I think it would actually be better. Women ruin these things. Women ruin Star Wars. Women are ruining comics right now. Women ruin all of this stuff because they don't really fundamentally understand. Women should not determine, what men find entertaining. Men should decide that. Men can determine that for themselves. We know the kind of the masculine fantasies that we have, and women definitely play a role. But Rainbow Brute is going to be the idea of men taking these little girly properties from the 1980s and making them tough. I want to take My Little Pony and make it into My Girthy Stallion. And I can make toys of that. I mean, we can actually make My Girthy Stallion toys. I want to take the Care Bears and make them into emo grizzlies, emotionally manipulative SJW grizzly bears, pains in the ass, gods of childish emotions. The Cabbage Patch Kids. Munchie Cheese are going to be my favorite. I cannot wait to do the Monkey Keys. Monkey Keys, I don't know if you remember the Munchie Cheese from the 1980s, but the whole thing was they were little furry monkey toys that sucked their own thumbs. Their mouths were permanently stuck open in kind of like a little O, and you could take their little plastic thumbs and stick them in their mouths so they could suck their own thumbs. Munchie Cheese are hideous, disgusting, smelly apes that want to suck your thumb. And that's what they're going to be. They just want to suck your thumb. I want to suck you. We're going to make t-shirts of Monkey Keys that just say, I want to suck you. It should be very, very good. So very excited. People do remember the Munchie Cheese. Outstanding. Very excited about that. If you haven't backed Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet yet, do so. Please. Link is in the description. If you didn't read Cyberfrog 1, I've got a link to the eBay store where you can get a copy of Cyberfrog Blood Honey, and any of the various, variant covers. Make sure that you get a copy of 1998, The Diary of Heather Swain. That's in there too. We'll ship them to you. You'll have them in 2 days, and then you can go and back Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet. You'll be ready to go. You'll be ready for, to catch up on the sequel. And we're just going to keep going with this. I love this idea of just doing comics like novels. They come out once a year. They're a big event. They're important, they're fun, and they're anticipated. It's a really kind of neat way to do comic books. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. You guys are probably making fun of me in the chat. You always do. They suck the skin off of thumbs. Yeah, they would. Like, yeah. I don't know if it hurts. I just think it's disgusting. It's like I don't want this monkey to suck my thumb. I think that's kind of what it is. Are you still going to call it Rainbow Brute? I don't know, Hector. I go back and forth about that. I love the title Cool Story Bro. I will be using it in one place or the other. There's going to be a secondary book called Toxic Fairy Tales for Masculine Men. And that book could be called Cool Story Bro too, but I'm not really sure yet. It's going to be fun. People say, don't call it Cool Story Bro. You guys want it to be called Rainbow Brute, I guess. Yeah, Rainbow Brute. Or this would be, this is daring, calling it Rainbow Brute like that. That is daring. Yeah, I don't know, but I am going to do toys and stuff, I think. Let's see. All right, let me see the super chats here and see what you guys are saying. Andrew Venable says there are more normal people than SJWs. Don't lose heart. Okay. Let's see. Lloyd Aloha says, Jasu is pronounced Josue, you big dummy. Oh, okay. Josue. I'll get it right next time. Bird Gang says, if there was a studio exec left in Hollywood that cared more about box office than politics, Cyberfrog would be in development right now. I think Cyberfrog is going to get a movie, but there isn't enough of it existing right now. We got to get like 4 issues of it done. We got to have the whole first season completed so people can see the big picture. People can actually see where this is going. The entire story of Cyberfrog exists in my head. I know how it ends, even though I feel like because of the events, recent events, I feel like I've just added a whole other like enormous chapter that takes place after the end. It's just, once I get this stuff down on paper, I think it's inevitable that there will be a movie. It's just too cool. Ron B says, can we get a variant action figure of Salamandroid as a carcass since you're killing him in Ranked Planet? Yes, that's a great idea. Coley Cotton says, hi, Ethan, please update your Unforgettable campaign. Oh, I will. B Dad says, play the song Nothing Bad and Needs Exposure. Oh, so you want me to play that song you asked me for? It's called Damn Right by Z-Blood. I don't know. It's not really the kind of thing we do. Lord CG Oracle says, Keanu doesn't shoot people, but Black Lives Matter and Antifa do. Yeah, Lil Poet Boy says, I had a package from you that got sent back accidentally. How do I get my stuff? Sent to Midland, Texas, but roommate wasn't aware and sent it back. Little Poet Boy. If that's the case, we got a crate of returns back, and Andrea and Michelle are working on finding that, fixing that situation, and making sure that those packages do find their owners. You could expedite that situation by writing to cyberfroghelp@gmail.com and explaining what had happened. Don't worry, we'll get it to you. It's important. Void Rider Comics says, thank you for the inspiration to start my journey into producing a comic book. Without you, I would never have taken the plunge. Rune, #Comicsgate. Oh, that's great. So you've got a book called Rune. Christome Sharkhot says, Berserker cover art is made by Raphael Rampa. He's a fully commie. Is he? They're all commies, dude. All of them are. I don't expect anything more from these people anymore. I just assume they're all extreme left-wingers. They have to be. Darm X says, coming from this black guy, DC making a Black Lives Matter propaganda is disgusting. And it's funny, they don't speak against looting, destruction, and riots. This is the thing about Black Lives Matter. Like, when I say I am a Republican, it's like I'm not like far right wing. I'm fully sympathetic. It's like, yeah, like there might be a situation, there might be this kind of thing where people need to be reminded that it's like sometimes black people don't get treated with the same kind of care and respect as white people. We've talked about this. And so therefore I understand what Black Lives Matter is trying to say, but that's not what it is. That's just a nice thing to say. Black Lives Matter is a nice thing to say. I agree with that, but I don't agree with what you do. I don't agree with you setting fire to shit. I don't agree. I don't like seeing these white kids, go into restaurants and demanding that other people raise their fists and demand that and declare that Black Lives Matter. That's some bullshit. I don't like that at all. I'm not going to support that. I'm going to make sure that I don't support that. And that sucks because I like the general idea, of that. But it's also misguided. Like yesterday, there was a hashtag going around, so the hashtag all buildings matter. And I guess the joke is that, hey, on 9/11, why are we just singling out these 2 buildings that fell? Don't you know that all buildings matter and some buildings didn't fall down? And you idiots. We're not mourning the loss of the buildings. The World Trade Center buildings are not the reason why we're sad on 9/11. Oh, we missed the buildings. It was nice to see the buildings, and they're gone now. Fucking jackasses. Nearly 3,000 people died. That's why people are upset on 9/11. It's not because we missed the classic Manhattan skyline. 3,000 people died. All of those lives mattered. All of them mattered to people. They all had worth. They all had value. That's why 9/11 is something that we say we'll never forget. We were attacked on our soil, and we lost a lot of American lives. People were just doing their jobs. Fuck you. It's not about the buildings. It's about the lives. All lives matter. All lives matter equally. And that's something that needs to be said. So while I can, I can sit there and understand, it's like, well, look, maybe some police officers are racist. I'm sure there are. Lots of police officers, I'm sure, are racist because a lot of people are tribal and people have those instincts, I think. Not me. I'm 100%, egalitarian, EVS stands for egalitarian Van Sciver. I want you to understand. Some people are. I understand that. And some people might not be treating, the police might be careless in some cases. Some police might be careless when, trying to subdue, somebody who has committed a crime and might lead to, look, yeah, Black Lives Matter. Be careful. Be careful with them. You want them to live. If they did something wrong, let's put them in jail. But you don't want to shoot them if you don't have to. That's something that is worth saying. But you don't need to say it the way it's being said right now. Although, I will say this. Keep it going, guys. Keep it going. It looks great on TV. 3 months ago, I didn't think my president was going to get reelected. Now I'm pretty sure he is by a landslide. So keep it going. It's really working. It's really convincing people. People like that. People like to be terrified. And again, it's the same thing. I sit there and I'm kind of like sad on the one hand. I'm looking at like Mark Wade and Ron MARZ and Mags VISAGGIO coming back to DC. And part of me goes, oh my God, fuck, it's the end of the world. And the other part of me goes, we're going to sell a lot of Comicsgate books. So keep it going, guys. Keep that going. Keep producing SJW stuff. Keep driving your customers into our arms. Keep it going. And you can wonder every single day, these people wonder on Twitter why Comicsgate books are doing so well. It must be some kind of scam. It must be some kind of scam that Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet has raised almost $1.1 million. How did that happen? Well, it happened because these comic books are so terrible, and my comic is the alternative. My comic is wonderful. Everybody likes Cyberfrog. Everyone enjoyed the first. Apparently, everyone enjoyed the first issue quite a bit, and they want the second one. And it's the best game in town. I think it's a new character that actually matters right now. So keep it going. Keep hiring these clowns. Keep employing these clowns who denigrate your customers, who call people Nazis. And in the meantime, go ahead and print these lectures, these anti-cop lectures in your comic books. DC Comics, remember when one of the big heroes of your comic books was Commissioner Gordon and the Gotham PD? Remember that? Now you're printing propaganda by people who want to defund the cops, who treat them like criminals, killers, murderers. The cops, police officers, the people who rushed into the towers on 9/11, sacrificed their lives to save everyone. regardless of their skin color, regardless of what they look like, who they prayed to, who they were sexually attracted to. Those police officers that we remember on 9/11, the police officers who rushed in to save other people's lives at the risk of their own. Now, 19 years later, DC Comics is producing propaganda, anti-police propaganda on behalf of Black Lives Matter. I think that's interesting. I think that's damned interesting. As I talk more about this, I find my energy. I find my energy for Comicsgate. I was about to settle down. I told Zach, I said, boy, we'll keep doing our books, and we'll just kind of slow down, and we don't have to, it's not going to matter. DC and Marvel, they're going away. No, we're going to be busy all next year talking about this and pointing this out. We're going to be busy making videos. We're going to be busy making comics. We're going to be busy fighting hard for the spirit of independent comics in the face of a converged comic book industry that has become nothing but a platform for far left-wing radicals to torture and punish their audience, to denigrate the people that pay the bills and keep the lights on, simultaneously while wondering why they have no money to travel, why they have no food in their refrigerators, why when they get sick, they can't go to the doctor. That must be the government's fault. All of these things. We're just going to have to stay busy, Comicsgate. We're just going to have to keep producing more and more books, more videos. We're going to have to keep fighting the good fight. How sad is that? How sad is it that here we are in 2020, 19 years after 9/11, 19 years after the country came together, and expressed in our sorrow, in our resolve, in our combined resolve, in our patriotism, we all thanked the police for what they did. A lot of them didn't come out of those towers. They didn't come back out. But here we are. We've got the same people who are running them down and referring to them as murderers, as villains, and we must defund them. We must make sure that they don't get paid. And that propaganda is in DC Comics now. That's awesome. That is just awesome. That is peak 2020. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this is an opportunity to produce comic books counter to that, to produce comics that entertain and have a better message than that. How hard is it? How hard is it going to be for me to produce a better message than that? Shouldn't be hard at all. That's an evil message. It shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be difficult to produce a more valid, more inspiring message in a comic book. To produce something that's more fun than that. Tromadeus is more fun than that. EJ Moore just turned in a bunch of Tromadeus pages. I love it. EJ Moore, you're the best, pal. Wonderful. Vagina Clam HD says, why don't you draw more than a page a month? I'll work at my own pace. Shut the fuck up. I will work at my own pace. I'm doing the best work of my career right now. 1 page a month. Doing much more than that. Urashima Otaru says their message is based on lies. Yeah, it is. And by the way, when you have the truth and when you speak the truth, you shouldn't be afraid of anything. I will debate Comicsgate with any of these people because what we talk about every single day is the truth. It's a very simple truth. When you are talking, when you're speaking the truth, you fear no man. I fear no one. They don't want to debate us. Gark77 says, show some EJ pages. Now, I did put some preview sketches up on Twitter, up on my Twitter. I showed Heather Swain getting married. People got very upset because Heather Swain's husband had a man bun. And what can I tell you? It was 2006. He had long hair. He's a survivalist. He hasn't had a haircut. He had to look handsome for his wedding, and he put his hair up in a man bun. I didn't tell him to do this, by the way. This is EJ. I am not going to tell EJ what to do and what not to do. I just give him some instructions, and I let his creativity run. So if EJ Moore just wants to suggest that Heather Swain's husband had a man bun, then that's okay with me. And I think we should kind of support him in that together as a community. I'm ready to do so. I'm ready to fight people about it. I pointed out that at least it wasn't the He Hive. Man bun is one thing, but at least it's not the He Hive. That's, men wearing a beehive hairdo. And that's coming too. I mean, don't get me wrong. That is coming. That is right around the corner, the He Hive hairdo. Here is, all right. Here's Heather. These are the sketches. I love looking at the way EJ draws because he just kind of draws the gestures. He lays things out on the page. Look at beautiful Heather Swain at age 24-ish, I guess. And is that a man bun or is that's a ponytail? A man bun sits on the top of his head. That's not a man bun, is it? It's like a ponytail. I'm pretty sure. Tack Loves Art says, EVS, have you ever had a fight? Yes, I've been in a couple of fights in my life. Not too many. And I've never lost a fight. Yeah, this looks like a ponytail to me. It does look like a ponytail. It's a mullet. Yeah, I think, honestly, man bun sits up at the top of your head. And I think that's what distinguishes a man bun from a ponytail. Here is another page. This is Cyberfrog and Heather. It's so fun. I like Heather just hanging on to Cyberfrog, going for a little ride, hopping through the sky, laughing at the chaos. Gark77 says, did you ever fight someone because of their man bun? No. Last time I had a fight, it was, I was young. I don't think man buns existed. Everybody was pretty much wearing mullets. Last time I had a fight. Hold on a second. Andrew's messaging me. Andrew's saying I have to leave at 2:30. Okay, babe. Don't worry. 20 minutes. We'll sum up. We got the driveway fixed, guys. I know you were concerned about that. A lot of people were saying, when are you going to fix the driveway? Because, I had the water delivered and, it did put a big hole in the driveway. So we had some nice Italian fellows come over and fix the driveway. They repaved the driveway. It looks really good now. Some people were worried about that. And don't be worried anymore. Don't be worried about that. Let me see if I can show you. A lot of people are like, can you please just show us what the driveway looks like now? Yeah, okay. I will. You don't have to ask me twice. I will show you. Oops. Okay. There we go. Yeah, don't worry about it, guys. It's fixed. Yeah, there was a hole in the driveway, and a lot of you were sending us messages of concern. But here it is. Look, it's beautiful. Look at this. Perfectly, beautifully paved over. You can see that it was raining, but the driveway is it's been repaired. So no more gaping hole in the driveway. Just, for those of you who like to keep people updated. Some people are like, can you update us on Unforgettable Tales? I'm like, yes. And then other people are like, can you update us on your toads and, your driveway and things like that? Commander Ron says, nobody cares. That's not true. Some people do care. Some people do actually care. Vanessa L says, we aren't worried about you, EVS. We're worried about Aunt Andrea. We want her to be safe. She's fine. Don't worry about Aunt Andrea. She's fine. Hex Allen Comics says, hey, Ethan, I enjoyed Unforgettable Tales, but what's the significance of the Al Stewart references? Who is he? Alan Stewart. Alan Stewart was the publisher of Hall of Heroes. He was a young fellow. And Alan Stewart is one of the biggest comic book fans in Elkhart, Indiana. He had a museum called Hall of Heroes. He had every single comic book. I think he sold real estate. I don't know where his money came from, but to us, when we were teenagers, he seemed rich. But he also seemed a little bit delusional. He found out that they were taking audition tapes for Batman Forever. So Alan bought himself to be Robin, in Batman Forever. So Alan bought a video camera and a Robin suit, and he filmed himself running around Elkhart, Indiana, dressed like Robin, and he made us sit down and watch it to give him pointers. And that was very, very funny. So Alan Stewart was that type of a guy. He was being serious. He wanted to be Robin in Batman Forever, he just thought they were going to, I don't know, find a newbie to cast. So that's who Alan Stewart is. And, I had this picture of him waving. And so I just hid Alan Stewart throughout the book because he was that kind of a guy, Commander Ron says, boring. How about another driveway update? It's fine. The driveway's still good. Yeah, it's still good. Let's see. Neil says, hey, Ethan, has the ash can come in yet for Unforgettable Tales? No, the ash can has not come in. It is on its way. I believe I'm told. Let me double check this before I say. But I believe it is the 24th of September. The ash cans come in. They're not ash cans. They're full-size comics at this point. They're the regular size with foil covers. And I'm trying out a new printer. So hopefully you guys like it. Let's see. Wilberforce Wooster says fulfilling on time is key. Someone in New Jersey said that once. Yeah, but also busting someone's balls unnecessarily when they're almost fulfilling on time, when they're mostly fulfilling on time, and when they fulfill almost like 90% of everything on time, but there's a holdup with one item, and then they fulfill like a month or two late. That is also key. Not busting someone's balls over stuff like that just because your war campaign and you're kind of upset over bullshit. That's another key. That's the other key. That fits the same fucking lock, Wilberforce Wooster. Same lock. It goes with that key. Guys out there busting balls all day long. That's what they do. You can't, if you're not 100% perfect, and I'm like 99.9% perfect in every single way. And then, you get your balls busted. Whiskey Sierra says Ethan fulfills his stomach on time every time. Yeah, I guess that's right. Job of the Coach says no busting balls. In 10 minutes, Fatty will be leaving us. Wilberforce Wooster says, how about a simple update for people giving a 100K loan? 1391 people. Wilberforce, you guys, it's not 1391. You guys are bad at math. I understand that you think you've counted up and that is the correct number. It is not. It's 1406. Go back and count again. Go back and count the number again. And you will find that I'm correct and you are wrong. And that's why this troll doesn't work. You have to actually read the tiers and see what's involved in every single tier. And then you'll see. That would be he struck a nerve, LOL. I know he did. What is 130? Wait, hold on a second. What is 1391 plus 15? I might be wrong too. No, it's 1406. So I told you I was right. There, thank you very much. Jesus God Almighty. Yeah. Let's see. Whiskey Sarah says, I already have my unforgettable tales. They're truly unforgettable. Thank you so much, Whiskey Sarah. I really appreciate you. Amazing. Now I'm being called like Mitch. Oh, I see. 15 people bought 2, says Vagina Clam HD. Yeah, but didn't other people buy more than one too? Brother Gaius of the Blue Wrench Cult says, stick to your day job, E, whatever that is. This is it. I'm sticking to my day job. This is my day job. Talking on YouTube with you guys. Let me see here. Hamish McTash says, I'm still waiting on my Lone Star 2 early bird. You're doing fine, Uncle E. Thanks. I appreciate that, Hamish. Hamish, thank you so much for your patience and, your diligence. Now, I would never let you down, Hamish. Hamish, I would never let you down. Let me see. Here's Wilberforce. He says, "Oh well, I made my point. Rub some dirt in your black eye and do better." All right, Wilberforce. Guys. Let me see. Ethan will be lifting off in 10 seconds. No, I have 12 minutes. Let's see. Scooter McDuder says, "War campaign equals crazy X. You're thankful you never got pregnant." I'm not so sure. Will you return? I don't know, Paul. Maybe. I'll probably come back tonight. I think I will. I'll probably come back tonight and do a stream that's a little bit more with more people there. G. Swift says, "Doing better than Smiller isn't really much of a compliment." Yes, it is. I appreciate every time everyone says I'm better than other people. I consider that to be. BDAD8504 says, "If you don't play damn right, you're a never Trumper." All right. Is it damn? Is it? Okay. Hold on a second. I will do it. You're right. You've super chatted me 3 times. So I guess we gotta do that. Jabba the Cuck says, "Please don't come back, crybaby." I'm not crying. I'm not crying. No, I'm not crying. It's fine. All right, so we're looking for "Damn Right" by Z Blood, and we'll see if we can. And this is a song about Trump, or what is this? Hold on. This better be good. Is it rap? Is this going to be rap? All right, we'll find out. Here we go.
In the smoker.
Okay.
Damn right. I ain't into smoking weed pipes. I like beer dark and light, Copenhagen pouch tight. Damn right. I don't give a fuck if I'm light. Yeah, I'll vote for Trump twice and I would do a 3rd time. Damn right. Pittsburgh is where I reside. Never running from a fight. Doesn't matter what the size. Damn right. Yes, I'm proud of my star and stripes. You don't like the way it's going, goes the way you might like. Damn right.
All right. We got it. I like it. So it's a pro-Trump rap song. Jabba the Cuck says he wants to die. That's something else. Let me see. Wilberforce Wooster still talking. Actually, that is be better. Comicsgate tells all comics makers to do better. Well, how much better can I do? I'm pretty awesome in every way. Whiskey Sierra says, "All I care about is Rainbow Brute and Flint Flossie." Let me see what else. Jasper Plan 9 is, "If we needed any more proof that was campaign was just like SJWs all along." I don't know. I don't know if they're like SJWs. Countdown E 12:03. Yeah, no, we got 10 more minutes. We got 10 more minutes here before we have to go. Yeah, our people don't like it. Some people do. Blarful says, "Damn son, where'd y'all find this?" So if you want that, if you want to listen to more rap music that's pro-Trump, that isn't Baked Alaska, you can listen to that. I might investigate it a little bit more while I'm working. I might listen to it a little bit. Jabba the Cuck says, "This feels like 20 minutes. Worst one says, "EVS, we need a water update. How much of the crate is left?" About 2/3 of it. Worst one, thank you so much. I'm happy to update you about the water. About 2/3 of the crate is left. And everyone is happy that I bought it. Like, it really has been helpful to have an enormous crate of water in there. It's amazing. So, if you guys want to do that, I would recommend that you do invest in an enormous pallet of water. Just don't let the Mexican guy driving the truck break up your driveway. That's the one mistake. Rugged Brain says, "Pecan is my favorite pie." It's my least favorite pie. That's my least favorite pie. My favorite pie right now is apple or lemon meringue. Those are my favorite. Vagina Clam HD says, "Remember when he played good music like Fabio?" Last night I played, Vagina Clam HD, whoever you are. I know you're a war campaigner. Last night I played Gunther and Samantha Fox. And I play Flint Flossie. I don't understand. I still play Fabio every now and then. Fabio's good. I want to invite Fabio to For the Fans Fest if we can afford him. I don't know why you act like I've let down Fabio and you by not playing his music more. And maybe we'll do that. I mean, maybe I'll do a drawing stream and we'll listen to some Fabio, kind of old school. You know, good stuff. Oh, people are saying that guy's testy. Oh, great. Testosterone. What's his name? Testify HD. Oh, I get it, because yeah, okay. He's got the HD there. It's Testify HD. Testify HD. How many fake names do you need? It's ridiculous. Cases says need more Mark Gormley. Yeah, Mark Gormley. Little of Mark Gormley goes a long way, to be honest with you. As long as Testify behaves himself, it's okay. He's saying Samantha Fox has good, ample bosoms. That's a valuable comment. You know, if Testify acts up, then that's a problem. But when he's contributing to the chat, you know, that's fine. Commander Ron also, he says, where can I get a Cyberfrog t-shirt? You can get one. I think you can still get them from cryptofashion.com. I think so. I think their website's back open again. I haven't looked. I've been busy, but I think so. You know, check that out. Bob Bug with One Eyes King says, this is agony. Bob, you don't have to stay. I'm just killing 6 minutes talking to you guys and dealing with, you know, hostility in the chat from Wilberforce Wooster and Commander Ron. Paul Gibbs says, just go, EVS. Your wife needs... No, she doesn't. She's going to soccer. She's taking Kaylee to soccer practice. Hi. Andrew comes down the stairs and holds out one hand. You look so good in my all caps comics t-shirt and short shorts. You look really sexy. You look beautiful. You need me to get off the air now and come...
5 minutes.
Oh, the hand is 5 minutes.
Either go to the game with the baby or watch the baby.
I don't want to go to the game with the baby. I think
You'll be here with the baby.
Yeah, I'll be here with the baby. All right. CMY Comics says, yo, Uncle E, can we get a fun fact about Scorpion? Yes, he's a mother effer. He's a mother effer. Wilberforce Wooster says, where's Mr. Dongs when you need him? He's here. He's, you know, he's probably being quiet. Mr. Dongs does not miss my chats. Everything here is important. Andrea, you savior, says Jabba the Cuck. Talk Loves Art says, I tried to warn him. No, she came down the stairs. She looked at me and smiled, and she held out her hand with her fingers spread out, which to me meant, I thought, like, what are you doing? Why aren't you getting off the computer? But it meant 5 minutes. She was saying 5 more minutes. You know. Yeah. But thank you, Ethan, for allowing churn and debate in your chat. You know, you guys can do whatever you want in my chat. You know, it's rare that I stop. You know, ordinarily when I do a live stream, I have an agenda and I talk to, you know, I talk about the subject matter that I want to talk about. I rarely just stop and just take a look at the chat and talk to you guys. This is a rare occasion. Snarkcon DM says, voice of an angel. Yeah. Jason Gallagher says she wants us all to suffer more. Hello, Easy E. Any chance for perks on future campaigns having Comicsgate artists draw rendition of other Comicsgate members on cards? That's very complicated. I think Cecil's doing something like that. He actually asked us to do self-portraits, which I was not into at all. In fact, I don't think anybody was into it. You know, it wasn't fun. But maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Do we want to draw each other? I'm not sure that we want to do that. Visky Sierra says, this feels like good old Daisy. It feels awkward, but I can't stop. Let me see. I should just say goodbye, but I can't right now. I've still got 3 more minutes. Snarkcon DM says, all caps tube tops when? We need to highlight them boobies. Agreed. I don't know. I have no plans to make tube tops, tank tops, or anything like that. EVS check Twitter. Chris Evans Wang got leaked. You know, you want to see that Captain America Wang. His penis? Like he got a dick pic out there? Who leaked his penis? Luffy has got this. A Scorpion has sex with his own mother. Wait and see. Wait and see. You know, not in so many words. You know, I wouldn't put that directly out there. My comics have to be for kids. He leaked it on accident. Whoops. Here's my dong. My bad. Oh no. You can't take that back, you know. Let's see. 5 minutes is 3 more than you fitness for EVS. It says slots. That's not nice, I guess. I don't know what it means, but it's not nice. It's not nice at all. It's America's Wang, people are saying. Let me see. Whiskey Sierra says all cap sequin jackets and hats when we need to up the guy. Yeah, that's more likely. Like I'd probably do that. You know, I could make some sequin jackets for everyone. I could take those Nazi hats. I could, put feathers on them. That kind of a thing. Is it almost time, babe? I got 1 more minute. Should I sign off?
I need a Mophie.
A Mophie? I think there's one on the table over there by the TV. But yeah, like we've been using Mophies a lot. So I don't know if they're charged, but check it out. All right, guys, I got to go. God bless all of you, except for you-know-who, Jabba the Cuck. God bless all of you except for Jabba the Cuck, who says 3 out of 3 Jabbas hate EBS. You know what, Jabba the Cuck? Thanks, everyone. I will see you again later. Probably tonight we'll do another live stream. Take care.